Go. All right. Welcome back from last episode. We had who did we have? We had
At
Sam
Yeras.
Matt
Matt
Nieras,
Nieras.
Oh,
the brother of Sam Nieras. Last episode. I hope you guys watched that. It was actually a very good episode talking about the PFL, talking about the relationship between a father and a coach. And just get back to it. There's so many surprises that will come in for the PFL. Now we're back with basketball. So we had two episodes with football. We're now in basketball. Speaking of basketball, we have Jay De La Cruz, right, in the PBA bubble. Hi, Jay.
hello. I'm not actually in the bubble. I'm actually in the venue.
Are
Look,
you in the venue? Could you show us? There you
ayan.
go.
This is my view from here.
So
It's
the
So
Phoenix and San Miguel. They're just preparing. It's just 2 minutes before game time. So, habang nagkukwentuhan tayo dito, naglalaro sila dyan. Bahala sila
all,
dyan. I
all
just
right.
so
finished my duty.
for our audio listeners, so Sir Jay pretty much has a corner view of the gym and how the game is
Yes.
going on. So if he ends up screaming randomly, that's because someone must have made a fascinating play, whether it be a buzzer beater or a dunk.
Yeah, that's right. And so that was Clara Manzano for our third Who the Heck Are We person. But we're missing today is Lance Fernandez. He has to
That's we
catch up.
miss you.
Lance, we miss you. But he has to catch up on his work for the
Some
American
personal stuff.
favorites. Yes. So,
Uh-uh.
so now what's good is we're going to be talking about the PBA, right? And the bubble's going really successfully. We had a little bit of glitches here and there, but it's still continuing, right? So now let's talk about draft class. I'm not yet really that familiar on the requirements for a rookie to enter the PBA, but in the NBA, I believe it's very lax. So anyone that just so long as they played in college, they could already enter the NBA, the NBA league. That's what they call the was that what do you call that? The
One
One
and
and
done.
done.
one and done. That's it.
There
The
you
one and
go.
done. But I'm not sure. Unlike before, where Kobe, KD, even LeBron just jumped from high school. I'm not sure if that's still on for the NBA. The reason why I'm asking, that's why these two guys here will be with me for tonight. Can the NBA, can the PBA have an entry draft class entry into the PBA? So
Mm.
Jay, what are the requirements for the PBA rookie
Ac-
to enter the league?
Actually, as far as I'm concerned, the PBA is employing an age requirement, a minimum age requirement for draft entries. If I'm not mistaken, your minimum age should be 23 years old before you enter the PBA. So, hindi pwedeng gawin yung ginagawa sa NBA na out of high school, didiretso ng PBA. Wala, hindi uso yun. Everybody must go to college.
Mm,
And then, if you are a home breed, kung ito talagang local player, all you need is just to be enrolled or played college ball dito sa Pilipinas, then you'll be eligible for the draft.
mhm.
And if you're a full foreigner, you need to go through the PBA league.
Okay.
Or, kung hindi ka naman sa PBA league and you're a full foreigner, you must play for the national team.
Wait lang, we
Diba?
could that that
Yes.
that uh, that is
Check
Noel
the background.
Zarate. His cameo is now is that sort of Noel Zarate for the PPA Barker.
Oh, he's
Uh,
introducing the starters right now for Phoenix and San Miguel.
there you go. So
Ganda, diba?
ganda. So
So
Jay
this is
Jay
no
mentioned
joke, this is no joke. I'm actually inside the venue and the game is ongoing dito sa
galing.
podcast. This is how fun this is.
Okay.
Tapos, continuing, kung ikaw naman ay naging member ng national team, you played for Gilas and you're a field foreigner, pwede ka na magpa-draft sa PBA.
Okay.
Case dito is, for example, if you've heard about Dwight Ramos, the
Yes.
incoming Ateneo player, but he's
Yes.
initially signed up for the national team. So, what if he doesn't play for Ateneo? Example lang to. What if he doesn't play for Ateneo, but he played for the national team? If he's 23 years old and above, he'll be eligible for the PBA draft.
Interesting.
That's the case. Those are
So
the
he can
rules.
take
So,
he can take the jump there. Yes.
yes, yes. Basta ma-meet lang yung mga requirements and either you play college ball here, you play the T League, or you play for the national team, and you're about 23 years old, you're good to go.
That's very interesting.
Given what Sir Jay said, I can recall Gabe Norwood. I think he was already or still in the PBL, and then he already played for the national team. So in that situation, that's pretty much both boxes checked already. Yes, I think making the jump wasn't a problem. National team
Mm.
check, PBL check, because PBL of course was the semi-pro
The
league before.
precursor. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
developmental league before.
Hmm.
Actually, that's the pattern. Kaya ginawa ng PBA ito. One of the patterns, yung laging track ni Gabe Norwood.
Ah,
Because
okay.
Gabe Norwood is a full nurse. Gabe Norwood is first, nakilala natin siya una sa national team muna, di ba? So, if applying current rules right now, he'll be eligible for BBA. Pero, pinasarap pa ng PBA rules, pa hindi ka na mag-national team, kung wala kang opportunity, there's the PBA D-League for you. You play 2 conference, there are a minimum number of games. Kung ikaw is a full foreigner, then after you completed it, you'll be eligible to jump to the PBA.
Okay.
One example of that player na who made his mark in the PBA D-League is Joshua Monson.
But Josh was currently in the 3x3.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
proceed to that later. But Joshua Monson played for several teams. The last team he played for sa PBA D-League is AMA. So
Okay.
he completed the conference there. And in completing the conference, that's where he completed his requirements, his minimum number of games required for the PBA League in order for him to be eligible for the PBA.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, about you, Claro. What are your thoughts on Gabe Norwood? Because for me, like, the did he have to have a number of games in the Gilas national team to be eligible to play for the PBA?
Wow, given that Sir Jay just said that national team can immediately exempt you.
Kahit one lalo. Even
So
just
Yes,
one game.
just one game. Just played for 1 minute. Or basta masama lang sa lineup.
really.
Okay, that's very interesting
Yeah.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
what are your thoughts on that, Claro? Sige.
given you were just saying that, yeah, I think there should be a minimum number of games, maybe,
Maybe.
but
Maybe.
less games than D League.
Mm-hmm.
Because first, national team again is service to the country.
Yeah.
Another thing is there are much less national team games.
Mm.
So, parang may konting adjustment. But again, the reason supposedly why you're in the national team is because you're up there.
Oh,
Yes.
You're the
oh.
top of the pyramid. So, I think it should be okay in that instance. But in the situation of Gabe Norwood, hindsight lang because
Yeah.
Mm.
hindsight is 2020 because we got to see what Gabe Norwood did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, just let Gabe go. Nothing against him. I mean, who hates Gabe Norwood?
No, God, everybody loves Gabe Norwood.
Exactly. So in this situation, but again,
Oh.
how did we know that Gabe Norwood is going to be the Gabe Norwood he is today?
Mm.
Well, the moment I saw him as a young gun in the national team, I'm like, okay, I know this guy is gonna be big. He's a young
Mm.
gun. They're grooming him, and look, he became the team captain, national
Mm.
utility player, and stopper.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
the thing about Cape Norwood, this is very shocking right now. I was covering the game of Rain or Shine earlier. They lost against Meralco. And one rare instance that I gave a warning to Gabe Norwood for a segment to a call.
Really?
That's really rare. Oh. He was
Yeah,
he was
he's like
complaining about a call or something, and the referee warned the referee gave him a warning for it. So
galing.
very rare times na, wait, Gabe Norwood sent him to a call? Hindi ako makapaniwala.
Side note lang konti,
Oh,
Hmm.
may na technical na siya siguro no sa PBA si Gabe. Maybe not.
Mabibilang ko sa kamay ko, sa daliri ko, yung ilang beses na na-technical si Gabe Norwood.
Mhm.
That's You have to remember, Gabe Norwood is a perennial recipient of a sportsmanship award.
yes, that's
Napakabait na
right.
mama niyan.
That's right. Okay,
Baka,
look. So, yes. So we have
for
Gabe
baka,
Norwood. Yeah.
technical lang niya is for delay in the game. Pero, going back, I wanna mention, klaro something, kung bakit, ano yung, may rational si PBA, kung bakit, pag naglaro ka ng national team, eligible ka na. The rationale behind it is, kasi, if you play for the Philippines, FIBA already considers you as a local. Di ba? As a Filipino citizen. Yun eh.
Correct,
Either
right.
Okay.
either you are a Stanley Pringle or Christian Stead Hardinger, na hindi yung eligibility mo lies on a being a field foreigner or yung makakuha ka ng passport at the age of 16, di ba?
Yeah.
Basta, pag nakapaglaro ka sa national team, FIBA considers you as a Filipino. So, yun lang yung rationale ni PBA doon. Na kapag pinayagan ka ng FIBA maglaro sa national team for the Philippines, ayan, sige, pwede ka mag-PBA.
So you could already jump to the PBA.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Jay and Car, remember when we had the direct Phil American hires, direct hires? Yeah.
This is early 2000s,
Different
maybe?
story,
No,
yes.
90s.
Late
That's the
90s. Oh,
90s.
The
I was
90s.
born in the mid 90s.
Oh
Sorry,
my God.
guys.
Yeah. And one of the biggest pick then was Danny Siegel.
Yes.
Okay, I'm on that page. I'm on
No,
that page.
yeah, he was a direct hire, and then I think a lot of and there was a rule in the PBA where if you're Phil American or Phil foreign, but back then it was a lot of Phil Americans,
Mm,
Phil foreigners, you could be hired directly by a team,
yes.
right? But of course, there were issues that that happened in the 2000s that we had a lot of Phil shams.
Mm,
That
Bill Shams. Mhm.
that's probably another podcast we could.
A totally different one, but
Yeah.
let's save it for another time, Sir
Yeah.
Jay, no?
Oo.
Yeah,
It's a bit,
Oo.
yeah, but there was that, and then that's why had to have regulations.
Mm. Yes, that's why they employed these rules
Yeah,
for para maiwasan yung direct hires eh.
correct. But for me, the age of 23, and then for Phil Amps to have a like I think they have to have seven games in the D League in order to
Yes, yes, yes.
be. You're at 7 games,
And
right?
two conferences and two
And
conferences,
two
mind you.
conferences.
Mm-mm.
Is that at the age of 23? Is that for the two of you? Is that okay? Is that a good? Are those good requirements?
I
Start
can
with
go
Claro.
first. Sir Jay,
Hmm.
sige. Okay.
Claro, correct.
No, I really had an answer in mind already. Medyo na-trigger. Ako,
Mm.
23 years old, ah.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
Okay, again. So if it's a local player, right, Jay, it's 23 years old, but you have to finish college.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't necessarily have to finish college so long
Not
as
exactly.
so long as you're 23. So you could be a
Yes.
third year, you could be in third year college,
Yes.
but yet you're 23, you could already jump to the PBA.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes.
Right? It's so long as you're 23.
Mm.
Tama. Okay, Claro. Do you agree with these requirements?
No. Okay. You're the age of 23.
Yeah.
You're fresh out of college and you're gonna enter your rookie year.
Right. Yeah.
Let's take a look at the people who turn pro abroad.
Exactly.
NBA pa lang. We're all like, whoa, he's 19, he's 18. That guy in the NBA can't even get a drink yet in a bar.
Yeah. Tyler
And he's
Hero.
already pro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tayo naman, mga Pinoy, we can only legally get a drink. But we can't turn, but we aren't pro.
Yeah.
Ayun lang. Okay. Because I think there's too much time spent in college.
Okay.
But
Okay.
again, there's actually some similarities here with football. The situation is that you should be able to turn pro a bit early because of the exposure. Because of that
Okay.
jump. That jump from college to pro is a big one. And
Yeah.
when by the time you're turning pro at age 23, when you finish out your 5 years of college, which is half a decade, that's pretty long.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
You see na your growth will slow down a bit. Because I think when you're in college, I think 4 years is a little more than enough. Um, if you go 5 years, you might plateau. So, okay, your skill level's going up in college. Okay, let's go pro. And you will continue to ascend. Let's say you're drawing that line with progress. So that's how I feel. I think it's too late. And
Okay.
how do others do it? They do it very early. I think Ricky Rubio, 13 or 16, he was pro already.
In
Luka
Spain.
Doncic.
Yes.
Luka
Luca,
Doncic,
16, right, Sir
16.
Jay?
16.
Doncic was
Yeah.
14 when he started playing for Real Madrid.
Yes. But I
16.
think it's easier said than done in the Philippines, of course.
Yeah.
But you'd like to follow the best practices internationally.
Mm.
So just to end it, no, I think because there's a perception in the Philippines, you need that college degree. It's ingrained
Mm.
in the culture.
That's right.
So
Mm-mm.
you need that college degree. You have to. There's an extra stop on the way to pro.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Nice, nice.
Uh,
Okay. How about you, Sir
ac-
Jay?
Actually, piggybacking, yun yung ano, I don't speak for the PBA, but for me, that is the rationale of the PBA kung bakit 20, yun yung age limit, the 23-year-old age limit. Because it's this, they are encouraging the players, these young kids, to finish their studies. Kasi, you have to remember, all these professional players are just one injury away para sa katapusan ng karir nila. 'Di ba?
Okay. Yeah.
Sige, kung halimbawa matapos, God forbid, matapos yung career, kung ma-injure sila, di sila makapaglaro ng basketball, ano ang gagawin nila? Di ba?
Mm.
So that is there is their college degree to protect them after to protect them for life after basketball.
Okay.
I think that's the rationale behind it.
Right.
And jumping to where the guys like Luka Doncic or Ricky Rubio, the Europeans, ang sistema nila doon kasi is, if you enter a club, di ba, you enter it as early as if you're 13 years old, 14 years old, member ka na ng isang club doon, di ba? The club, sila ang bahala sa'yo kung saan ka nila papaaralin, di ba? Sila ang bahala sa buhay mo doon. So, that's why they are able to play professional basketball at those kind of ages, because at the same time, they're being educated. Pinag-aaral sila ng club nila.
Okay.
Diba? So, magkasabay yung educational development nila tsaka yung athletic development nila. You have to remember, dito sa Pilipinas, professional leagues here are corporate based, di ba?
Yeah.
So these players playing right here dito sa bubble, they're essentially employees of that company,
Yes.
di ba? So talaga they get paid to play. Grassroots natin nakabase pa rin sa college natin, sa collegiate level, sa collegiate ranks. So talagang dun, yun yung inisip rin perhaps ni PBA, na kailangan yung personal development ng mga bata na to, kailangan magtuloy-tuloy.
Okay.
So they have to finish their studies first.
I think back in I'm not sure if you guys were still alive then, but I think Larry, you were born in the 90s. Jay, I think you were also born in the 80s, 90s. No, but
Hmm.
back in the old PBA, Toyota, Eco. I mean, we hear it
Oh, yeah.
from our friends, an eternity of basketball,
AOB.
AEOB. Even though they were professional, they would still work. They would still
Yes, they're,
work. Yeah,
they're
right.
professional employees. Oo.
And still have a day job, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
empleyado talaga sila ng Crispa, empleyado ng
Yeah, they
Maruwasa,
were
empleyado ng
yeah,
Meralco. Yes.
yeah, they were professionals in both,
Mm-mm.
in the business sector, also in their careers. Now here's my take. Okay,
Mm-mm.
I agree in that, so Jay, are you agreeing that it should be 23?
Uh, if there's anything, if anything, if they want to modify, siguro yun like 23. I think at least bring it down to 21.
Okay,
Yun
That's a
lang.
good start.
that's a
Yeah,
good start.
that's
Okay,
a
21,
good start.
21
yeah,
is,
yeah.
Pero I can somehow agree to their rationale kung if they want to keep it 23, but at least make it to 21 na siguro.
Okay,
21 na, siguro.
okay,
The D-League requirements, I think it's fine kasi protection din sa liga to.
yeah. For the
Uh,
dealing naman, that's the Phil Americans and the Phil Force. But
for
okay,
the Phil foreigners.
yeah, just to say about the PBA's rationale on why they want these rookies to finish their studies is, yeah, after, if they get injured, wala na silang mapupuntahan, right?
Mm,
But these, again, I might say something controversial, but these students, do they really go to class?
that's a good question. That's a good
Diba?
question.
Do they really go to do they really go to their course? Do they
Wait,
really study the course that they want to study?
I know one school that does.
I know
I,
people
I,
who go to
I know
class
one school that
diligently.
does.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
but
one
is
school that
it
does to go to the classes. I don't know about the others. I don't
yeah,
know about.
but is there, diba, there's also a requirement like the Ateneo, if you don't have a certain
Grade.
GPA,
Yeah,
you're out, right?
the
That's fine.
GPA
Yeah.
is higher than like just pasang awa. May
Yeah.
konting cushion eh. But you
Yeah.
understand it because you're upholding a level of excellence, right?
Yeah, you're
Ah,
holding a level of,
they're
which is,
scholars.
I understand. But
Mm-hmm.
but kasi that for me, the 20, I'm also in the minds of the two of you now. 23 is too high. Okay.
Mhm.
I think tama, 21. Yung first year of college, pwede na ako first year of college, you could already go to the PBA. And then from there, if the player wants to study, he will study. Nothing will stop him from
I
studying.
agree.
Diba? Nothing will stop him. Whether
I
Yeah.
it's
agree.
a rule, a PBA rule or what, nothing will stop him. And in
Yes.
fact, he could study the most basic things that we need now, which is basic accounting, basic economics, basic business, entrepreneurship.
Mhm. That's
Or
true.
Oh,
or
diba?
maybe yes, let's say you're able to turn pro early, age 16, 18 or whatever. You can study while pursuing your pro career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One person that is in my head is Vince Carter. Diba?
Mhm. Yes.
He graduated in Duke University. Was it Duke or North Carolina? In Duke University while he was in pro.
I think NC. Let me check
NC
that right
Twins.
North
now.
Carolina, yeah, either beside he was in North Carolina, the
NC.
state of
Yeah.
North Carolina. You could do
Okay.
that. And a lot of NBA players I know probably are doing that. Why can't the PBA accept that?
Mhm.
Diba?
Actually, there are
Even
a handful of PBA players that graduated habang nasa PBA na sila.
Hmm.
One,
mhm.
I can remember one player, Mark Pingres, actually finished his degree habang naglalaro na siya sa PBA.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think the instance of Pingris, he thought about it, it's age catching up. I think
Yes,
that's when
yes,
he
yes,
opted to go back to school.
yes. And
Yeah.
one more thing, Mark Pingres is a youth player, national player siya nun.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah.
So he had that, and he had that potential he had that potential jumping into the pro. So he was able to grab that opportunity. Pero tama yung sinabi ni Claudia na, or tama yung sinabi niya na dalawa na, Fingers thought age is already catching up. So he went back to school, he finished it.
Because like for me, it's like if it's 23, parang your growth in as an athlete or as a
Mm,
basketball player is limited na. Imagine if you're starting at the age of 20, you're already in a
mm,
pro.
mm,
Iba gagaling at gagaling kasi you're already going against the
yes.
best of the best eh.
Oo.
'Di ba?
Tsaka, oo. And you have to consider din ano yung age limit sa college, sa UAAP and sa NCAA? It's
Wow.
25, di ba?
I think it's 25 now.
Yes, it's
25?
25.
We
Did
have
it
Oo.
college
even
players that are 25 years old.
Oo.
exactly?
And here's
Um
the thing. Oh, and here's the thing. The schools will do everything they can
To keep them.
to keep those players na itotodo yung kanilang age limit doon. You have to know, meron pang mga student athletes that take up master's degree. Oh, marami sa mga players sa UAP are taking up master's degree just para sulitin yung kanilang
Yeah.
eligibility sa college.
yes.
Correct.
To bounce off you, Sir J, what can happen also? You are in your seventh year of college,
Yes, yes.
but
Oh.
you are in your fifth year of playing. So maybe
Mm-mm.
in instances there,
College. Fifth year of
Oh.
play.
yes. So
Okay.
there are
And that is
instances where
possible.
you do
That is
not
possible.
play in the team. Either different reasons. You don't make the team, you're injured, so you sit out an entire year,
Mm-mm.
or your coach puts you in team B.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
So there
okay.
are years, yeah, you're a student for 1 year, but that 1 year doesn't count as
Mm.
UAAP. Yeah.
Oh. And
So
it happens to players na hindi na-scout talaga sa high school eh. 'Di ba? That happens to people that are not scouted in high school kasi pag nakilala na sila sa high school, ay, kitang-kita na yan eh. Makikita yung progression nila.
Yeah. Okay. So look, okay, we're only centralizing in the collegiate basketball players here in Manila, in Luzon, where we see them on the UAP and say, what
mhm.
about those ones in Mindanao or in Visayas? What if there was a college player that's 21, wants to jump into the BBA because he wants to help his family out of, just wants to help his family financially, but he can't
Mm.
because he has to keep studying.
Well,
Di ba? I mean,
well, you have to look at Greg Slaughter. Di ba? He was playing college ball sa Cebu. Nakailang taon siya sa University of Visayas. Di ba?
oh,
And then he jumped ship here sa Ateneo. And how many years
Mhm.
did he play in Ateneo? Di ba?
Did he have 3 years?
3 years pa
So,
siya. But he was
He had a
very
good
successful. Yeah.
he had a good amount of time, yeah.
hmm,
But given what you said, Claudia, in that situation, you're only 21,
Yeah.
2 more years till you turn pro. Only thing you could think of, maybe, or entering my head is D League. What do you guys think? But the D League is still a step above of college. But I'm
Hmm.
sure you're getting you're getting a salary in the D League. It's
Yes,
not PBA level, but it's still a
Allowance. That's
salary.
that's a
allowance.
very
Oh.
good, yeah, that's a
Ayun.
very good, yeah. So that's a very good, very
Mhm.
Oh.
good point. That's true, Claro. That's
Yeah,
true.
I
That's a
think
case in point dyan. Your boys, Claro and Lasal, guys like Jamie Malonzo and James Laput,
One and done
the one
sila,
and
the
done,
one and
the
done.
one and
one and
done
done.
players in Lasal right now. And before the lockdown, they were making noise sa D-League.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the D League, of course, is bridging you from
yeah,
college
Exactly.
to the pro level PBA.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
you don't go ahead, sir, Claro.
one thing, we're saying that they should lower the age limit, right? Well,
Mhm.
here's what. But there's a tough crossroad here because we saw it in the NBA that there's a potential problem of being able to turn pro early.
Yeah,
What if you turn pro early, but you're not getting minutes, and then you find yourself out of the league
yeah, it's also
after some
difficult.
time?
Yeah,
Uh, mm,
Big red light, red flag. Once you turn pro, right? You can't go back to
College.
yeah,
college.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
Kasi
tough
yun na
because
nagpapasweldo sa'yo eh.
yeah, that's right, Sergey. And one tough thing is there are a lot of guys in the NBA who went straight out of high school and turned pro, right?
And bombed.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
they weren't
and
able
bombed
to
out. Oh.
establish themselves in the league. So you're out. You lose it, and then you don't have your degree. But will the school get them back? I don't know because they won't be able to serve the school by being a varsity
Mm-mm.
player
yeah, that's
for their
actually a
team.
good point. So what are your thoughts on that, Claro?
There, that's the tough thing
Yeah.
because may I can't blame these young guys in the states, but maybe they felt, oh, I'm NBA ready, let's go.
Mm.
But when you're getting your feet wet, oh, it's not working out. So that's the tough thing. Because in fairness, some people need college,
Yes, they do.
but
Hmm.
this discernment is hard.
No.
It's hard. Like, can I make it? Can I not? For example, this happens in real life, but the best way for you to see it is in He Got Game, the basketball movie.
Mm.
It's a
The
good
one with
basketball
Ray
movie.
Allen, is it?
Ray
Yeah,
Allen,
Ray
Jesus
Allen. Yeah, yeah,
Shuttlesworth.
yeah. James
Okay.
Shuttlesworth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good basketball movie, but when you look at the fine details of the story, the movie gets pretty dumb.
yeah, yeah. It kind of gets boring, actually.
It
Yeah,
gets
Oh.
dumb.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we can save this for another movie podcast of
That's
ours.
true.
I'm
That's
gonna
true.
enjoy.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna enjoy
Oh.
pointing out the weird stuff in He Got Game. Anyway, back to it. The agent kept telling Jesus Shuttlesworth, "Oh, if you turn pro now, this is what will happen, and I will help you." Because the agent was saying that this guy's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if it doesn't pan out? Because for all you know, the agents might be telling the guy, "Oh, you can do it," but what if the guy doesn't?
That's where you have to see whether the agent is
Hmm.
all about money or so or
Oh.
they were
Yeah. So
I mean,
Kasi
that's
yeah.
you also have to consider, pag nasa college sila, if they're playing for the school, hindi sila nagbabayad sa school. Diba? The school is paying for them to study and to play for them and to represent them, diba? They're all scholars. So, if they turn pro, ibig sabihin, they're already employed. They're being paid, diba? So, the, the thing here is, kapag bumalik sila, if they bombed out sa pro and they want to go back to college, hindi na papayag si college na maging scholar pa siya.
Hindi na.
Hindi na papayag si college kasi nabayaran ka na eh. For all we know,
mhm,
naging empleyado ka na, nakaipon ka na. Ba't pa kami
exactly.
gagastos para sa'yo?
Yeah, wala na 'yun. Wala
Oh,
na.
magbayad ka na. Gusto mo mag-aral sa amin? Bayad ka.
And
Diba?
there's the
Consequence
possi-
na 'yun. That's a
yeah,
consequence of jumping to the pro leagues, right?
and there's the possibility. Oh, you left us, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Isa pa
Yeah.
yun.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
That's a very
another,
good point, Claro. That's a very good point.
I
Yeah.
think, case in point, there are people who need college, right? I think see,
Mm.
JJ Redick, I think exhausted his eligibility in the
Stayed in
US
Duke.
NCAA.
Oh, he stayed in Duke.
Yeah,
Tinapos
he's
niya.
Yeah, he
yeah,
stayed in Duke. Yeah.
but I
Oh.
think for him, he saw that he needed the development because he even
Mm.
wanted to quit. But you are working under a legend in Coach K. So Coach
Yeah,
K
one of
was
the best
really,
coaches, college coaches in the.
yeah, Coach
Coach K
K was
always
able to
think,
get him to stay.
oh, studies muna. That's Coach K.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a student first. You're a student.
And then I don't know Another example, Matisse Taibol. I think he stayed in college for a
In
few time
Washington.
for a few years. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
at least three. Baka nag-four nga. I wouldn't be surprised. So he used that opportunity there to develop, and those guys saw it. Because I
Mm.
think you have guys. I think Gilbert Arenas rode the bench for some time. I think he went straight out of high school.
And then he went to the
Yes.
NBA. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. He rode the bench, but he rode the bench in the NBA. That was a bit, it's murky waters. It's quite difficult.
Yeah, it's a big risk jumping.
What
Yes.
about
I mean,
Kwame Brown?
Oh,
what? Well,
there.
yeah, that's
Case
a
and
good
point,
point.
Sir J.
Case in
Kwame,
point. I was gonna
oh,
number one draft pick, pa.
Nail in
yes.
the coffin.
And
Yeah,
Stephen A. Smith hates him so much.
yeah.
So
Like one of the biggest draft bust,
yes, it's a
number
flip-off.
one draft bust
Oh,
in the NBA is yeah. But
Kwame
that
Brown.
yeah is that's a very good point, Clara. I mean, I didn't that never crossed my mind. I mean, but however, it if bring down the age limit to 21 does not mean that you have to jump ship or jump to the PBA, right?
Doesn't
It
mean.
doesn't mean that. But so
Yeah.
meaning if you're in the first year of high school and you already know that you could play against the big ones, the big leagues. You know, you could ask your coaches, you could ask advice from people.
mm.
And if you're not ready yet, you think you're not ready yet, you could go second year, third year. But at least the age limit is lower than 23. It's
Mm.
21,
Uh,
right? So
actually,
there's a chance that you could jump to the PBA after 21. In fact, I think 21 still a bit
I think
high.
Agree.
I
I think
think
But
it would
21
be.
is
I mean,
no
Filipinos go to college the age of 17, right?
18 na, or 18 right now because of the senior high school.
Oh,
mhm.
So
18,
minimum
17,
18 years
18.
old.
For me, it should be actually 19, 20. You know, and
So uh,
for me, 19, 20, 20. You know,
uh,
they have to have the chance. Because if you also prolong yourself, if a player stays too long in school,
mm,
there's other things that could happen. They could
uh,
be given other incentives that like what you guys said to they
uh,
stay there 7 years,
uh,
incentives to a car, I mean all those things to stay,
that's
right?
Yes.
actually beyond our control na, beyond the PBA's control. We don't know what's happening inside those schools on to convince them on to exhaust all their years of eligibility, they exhaust all their 25 years of life to play for that school. Labas na tayo doon. Pero there's another interesting case here. The five guys that entered the 2020 PBA draft: Isaac Go, Alin Bulanadi, Ray Suerte, and the Nieto Twins. Do you guys have any idea kung ilan, for example, the Nieto Twins, kung ilan taon na sila?
Ooh, I think the Nieto twins are born 97, if I'm correct, by my rough
So right now,
calculations.
they're 23 years old, tama? 22 or 23 years old
Hmm.
right
Yeah.
now. Look, they are their rights are drafted by their respective teams right now.
Yes.
Yung rights nila, but they're not playing for their mother teams. They'll be playing for the flag. At ang quota nila is hanggang 2023. So they'll be waiting three more years to get back to their mother teams.
Mm.
So for example, if the Nieto Twins are already 22 or 23 right now, makakalaro pa sila sa kanilang mga mother teams pagdating ng 25 or 26 years old nila.
That's too
But
old.
on hindsight, they're playing for the national team. Nandun nakafocus yung kanilang development.
Here.
Yeah. The
But
few years that you're
Hmm.
just with the national team, that already counts as years pro. It's a
Actually,
technically
that's
already,
true.
yes.
That's true.
oh.
That's true. But
Pero again, drafting ano pa lang, player rights pa lang ang hawak sa kanila. I don't know about contracts or all that stuff. Kung binabayaran na sila.
but my question there is like what Claro said. The national team players only have X number of games competition. So how is their growth in terms of their skill? How is their skill level?
Hmm.
Diba? If you play pro, you'll know that you could your improvement goes higher and higher because the more you play with the pros, the better you
Mm.
are. But with
Oh.
the national team, they're stuck in a national team. How can they improve more?
Actually, actually that's one thing that we failed to see kasi nag-lockdown, 'di ba?
That's true,
That's
actually.
why the SPP had Tab Baldwin as a program director because Tab Baldwin will handle the growth of those players, those five guys that I mentioned, together with other together with other college players who are still underage to enter the PBA draft, di ba? Example, the Gomez brothers. I believe they're still under 23 years old.
Yes, they are.
And
Yeah.
Javi is already in his last year, di ba? Or I don't know kung pwede pa siya, di ba?
Yeah.
So, bago pa siya maging eligible sa pro, dito ka muna sa amin sa national team.
Yeah.
So, Tabaldin had that program lined up already. Trainings,
Nag-lockdown lang tayo.
overseas trainings, all the tournaments na sana sasalihan nila, they're just all halted because of this lockdown.
Okay.
Yun lang yun eh.
Mm.
Makikita na sana natin.
How about you, Claro?
How I see it, similar nga to Sir J. My reference would be the first edition of Gilas, full-time national team players. So that's 15 guys. Unlike now, I think lima lang sila. With this one, they were like 12 or 15 players. And they were flying all over the place, playing
Mm.
in all sorts of overseas tournaments. They weren't all big or intercontinental or regional tournaments. They
Yeah.
were may kasama din international invitationals.
Mm-mm.
And
Yes. Okay.
I bought into the concept when I heard it is because they're playing in all sorts of leagues. It's not always FIBA Asia level, but it's the international style of play.
Yeah.
And
So
key
it's
there's
them.
international style
Yes.
of play because
Yeah.
what you learn in this international invitational is something that you can carry on
Mm.
to FIBA. So
Okay.
maybe your tricks and tactics will work here
Mm-mm.
and it will work when you raise it to FIBA.
Mm-mm.
Because we know that medyo iba yung style of play in the
That
PBA
is true.
Correct.
and
Correct.
when you carry
Uh,
on.
uh,
So in that situation, there was development. You're pro. It's just that you're not playing in the pro league, but you're playing for the national team.
Correct. Yeah.
So in this situation, it seems like a parallel path
So it's
because
uh,
okay. So it's an okay
it's
mm-mm.
okay
situation.
for
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Yes, in the
Uh,
situation of the Philippines. I'm not
mm,
saying that I'm not saying that Team USA or China should go, "Oh,
mm,
hey, let's get 15 guys out of the pro league and come up with our own full-time national team." It's a
mm,
totally different situation there.
Right.
For the
Right. Yeah.
meantime, I think that situation or that formula can work here
mm,
Correct.
because in fact, Gilas 1 was gonna disband or disbanded already when we finished fourth place in the FIBA Asia
yun na yan,
2011.
2012, yes. Or 20, oh, that
20
2011.
yeah,
That's the end of the program. Tapos na yun.
yes. The
That,
program
uh,
ended because we did not qualify for the 2012 London Olympics, which
uh,
was the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
mm,
Okay.
But there were what ifs. Because since the
mm,
goal there was to qualify for 2012, what if Chris Chu and his crew, Marcus Douthit, Marcio Lassiter, if they took if they at least finish third, the road to London continues and
Okay.
their
Yeah.
contracts would be renewed.
Yeah.
uh,
Yes, but we
uh,
finished fourth that game. Unfortunately, we lost to Korea, which is
mm,
something that sounds familiar.
uh,
So, ayun, the program was finished na
mm,
talaga. But
Yeah.
a different
uh,
story if we won that battle for third because we
mm,
would play in the Olympic qualifying tournament.
uh,
My continuation,
uh,
because I know that a number of players after Gilas one disbanded wanted to turn pro. A
yes.
number of them wanted to resign and continue being full-time national team players.
Okay.
That's
Uh,
how I see it.
That's
uh,
actually very good.
actually,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
good,
Oh,
that's a good story, Clara. And it's good that he put that similarity of Gilas one to what SVP is currently doing right now. Pero the thing is, from what I understand, since Tab Baldwin already put a continuity program doon sa ginagawa niya ngayon. And
mm.
again, from what I understand, the PBA is intending to do another special Gilas draft. I don't know if this year or a year from now. Parang gagawin talaga ni PBA ito na merong special Gilas draft. 5 players coming out of college, they'll get drafted, their rights will be, makukunin muna ng mga teams yung rights nila, but those players will be loaned first to the national team.
Okay.
So, chances are, Isaac Go and Company, makakalaro nila yung mga susunod na papasok, the next set of Gilas draftees.
Mm.
And then, pag tapos na yung serbisyo, yung lease agreement nila Isaac Go sa national team, pupunta na sila sa mother team sila Isaac Go going to Terra Firma, Alin Bolanati will go to his mother team already. Yung mga naiwan na special Gilas draftees, nandun pa. Diba? So sila yung magtutuloy.
Okay, so yeah, there's
May succession na
continuity.
mangyayari. Oo.
Uh-uh.
It sounds
So
good, yeah.
yeah, so I think we're all agreeing that the PBA draft age go down more. Ako for me, 1920, and then
Oo.
they don't
Mm.
necessarily have to finish college, which is ano naman it happens now. But what
Mm.
about the Phil Foreign? Do they have to have a the requisite of 7 games or 2 conferences in the D League, or pwede na mag-direct hire ulit with the
I,
strictest
Mm.
requirements?
okay,
Oh,
given that
right,
Phil
Caro.
Sham incident
Yeah.
before, I think it's proper that they have this D League. It's like a residency period.
Okay.
It's like a probationary period, you know. You're doing a
Your
background,
word.
it's like a residency period. You're doing a background check to see first by that player wanting to stay and play it out sees that they're willing.
Okay.
You also get to see that their papers are fine,
Yep.
because I think that's
Mm.
key.
Yep.
You have proper papers to show that you're Filipino, because again, to play in the PBA, you have to be a Filipino.
Yes.
Um,
Mm.
Foreigners are only allowed in certain conferences. So I
Yes.
think that is a big key. Parang
Yes.
probationary period yan. And
Mm.
as a player, if you look at it in that perspective, it gives you an opportunity to settle down and to learn the local style of
Exactly.
play. Because again, what if you're
Ah,
not ready?
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Even
Oh.
Gabe Norwood went through the PBL.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't know if Gabe would have been able to go straight into the PBA,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Just to look at it in perspective. But I think yes, he had to do that residency. But let's just say in theory, I wouldn't know if he was ready straight from George Mason straight to PBA.
Exactly. It's an opportunity na makilala yung style ng ng PBA basketball. Kasi imagine, a Phil foreigner player, nasabihin natin yung liga na nilalaroan niya doon, just play clean, basic, fundamental basketball. Pupunta siya ng Pilipinas, he'll go directly to the PBA, makakalaban niya ang mga tipo ni Arwin Santos, makakalaban niya tipo ni Calvin Abueva, di ba? Makakalaban niya tipo ni Bo Belga, na
Patay.
more than basketball, bubisitin muna siya, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Exact, similar to what's happening to the imports, di ba? When imports come in here, sino unang mga tinatawagan ng technical fouls? Mga imports, di ba?
Yeah.
Because hindi nila kilala yung mga tao na to.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
another thing is, hindi nila kabisado yung style ng play ng basketball dito sa PBA. So,
Yeah.
that's a good thing. That's a good point,
Yeah.
Caramel.
I agree.
Sort of probation, residency, just to get the feel of the style of play
That's
here
true.
sa PBA.
And I agree with the two of you. No. And also one thing is also for the coaches to scout them. Kasi
Mm-mm.
'di ba, there's a notion, feel magaling yan, magaling yan.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
when they get
Oh,
direct, whenever they get direct hired in the PBA and they play,
oh,
parang bust pala
oh,
sila, right? So
oh.
it's also for the teams to
Oh.
scout them, right? To
Pero
know how
maisingit,
they play. Mm.
Pero maisingit ko ta. Si D-League meron ding overage rule yan. Na Phil
Yes.
foreigners, there's a certain
Yeah.
age na pwede ka lang maglaro sa D-League. I think it's 30 years old. So, if you're beyond 30 years old and if you're a Phil foreigner, I think you can apply directly sa
Into the game.
PBA na.
Yeah.
There's
There's
a
a
case
mature
right here.
draft, no? Mature draft.
There's a player right here. Remember Maurice Shaw,
Yes, that's right.
second
That's right.
the second pick of the PBA, overall pick of actually seventh. Na naging second lang sa regular draft.
Nah,
He was
because of
picked by
the
Blackwater.
yeah.
He's already 35 years old. Hindi na siya nag-D-League. He went directly to the PBA because his overage is a D-League.
But 35 is a bit old actually. But
Oo.
but
That's
props,
old, so it's fine, right?
yeah, yeah.
Just
And
in that instance.
yeah, but props to
Oh.
Mauricio for trying it in the PBA, you know.
Yeah. High
Okay,
Mm.
props.
diba? Big props. About now, again, I think we're all in agreement, you know, lower down the age limit for local
Yes,
players. Yeah, ako din.
21 lang. 21 is fine with me.
Yeah. Ako 18, 19, 20. Not necessarily have to finish
Mm.
college. And for Phil Forens, yes, residency, 7 games for 2 conferences in the D League. Now for the NBA, you agree
Mhm.
with what they're doing?
The one and done,
Yeah.
I think it's okay. At least you can say for those who aren't ready for the NBA, because at least by doing 1 year in college, they're able to gauge in the middle ground between high school and pro. Oh, okay, I'm not ready, so I'm gonna stay here first in this school
Right.
and develop. And you have your Zion Williamsons, but again, not everyone is Zion Williamson.
Uh,
There's
who
gonna
was the
be
last? Who's the last NBA player that came from high school?
wow, that's very tough. I can't
That's
remember
tough. Can't
anymore.
remember too.
Di ba si
Oo.
Basta
LeBron? Was it LeBron? No.
may konti
LeBron
pa
kinarap pa
after.
school, pero meron
Meron
pa.
pa? Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
But they stopped it right after that. They said you needed
yes.
to go to college and do yeah.
Yes, yes.
The first to skip college and go straight from high school was Moses Malone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ayun. He's the OG. I'm gonna skip college.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go straight. I'm gonna go pro.
Oo.
And he was successful.
Yes.
With Malone.
Oh,
And
yes.
you have Kobe,
Agree.
for
Yeah,
example.
Kobe.
You have
Jermaine
T-Mac.
O'Neal.
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
Yeah.
Ayun.
Actually, Jermaine O'Neal lang una, as far as I know.
KD. You have Kevin Durant.
KD din
Oh,
ba?
I think I got Kevin Garnett.
KG. Yes, KG.
KG. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's KG. Yes, it's KG who did it
KG.
first.
Yeah.
Oh.
KG. So, what about your thoughts, Claro? You said the one and done. You're okay with it, or you're not okay with it?
I think no system or style is perfect. But with the way it is, just looking at the whole the big picture with again these players, just making sure that those who stay in college because they need it so that they
Yeah,
can develop with their coach and they can get their degree.
yeah,
But I think there were some talks in the recent years. Maybe they'll bring it back. You can go straight out of high school. But that's just my concern. The players who will not be NBA ready but made the jump to pro.
yeah. There's a
What
lot
will
of
happen? Yes, you might get stuck in the D League
Mm.
and the G League now
Yes, yes.
in the States. So I know that the G League, isn't as lucrative in terms of pay as the NBA.
yeah,
Like you had that guy who played for the Lakers, Andre Ingram. Andre Ingram. When it's
It's a
off
forgettable
season,
name. It's a forget.
yeah, when it's the off season, he tutor math
yeah,
kids.
yes,
So I think that just showed that the G League isn't like it isn't really that exact platform where you can really say that basketball is your full-time job.
yes. That's right. Yeah,
You
Uh,
see here that he did two jobs, Andre Ingram. But okay, it's nice that he was able to get that break, right? But that's because he stuck it out.
yes.
mm,
Yes. So I think it should still stay.
It
uh,
should stay. Okay. So long as you
Yes.
go one and done, stay in college, high school to NBA. No, one and done is
mm.
okay with you.
For me there has to be one and done is the current system is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Status
Current
quo.
system.
Status quo.
Yeah.
Stay.
Uh,
Okay. How about you, Jay?
the thing is, it's not really the NBA's problem. Yung itong mga one and done na to. Hindi kasalanan ni NBA ito. And it's neither the USNCAA's fault because of these one and done players, di ba? Ano to eh, kagagawan lahat to ng mga students eh. Kagagawa ng lahat ng mga student athletes to. Kagagawa lahat ng players. It's their option, it's their choice, di ba? As long as they are, for lack of a better term, stupid general managers who want to hire them just for
Hmm.
their potential, di ba? Di, sige, talagang hindi may iwasan yan.
Yeah.
Kung gusto talagang iwasan ni NBA yan, they had to do what the PBA did here. Increase sila yung age limit. Sige,
Yeah.
tignan natin kung merong magsialis ng college dyan, di ba?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I think
besides,
go ahead, Sir Jay.
USNCA, I think they are planning to sabihin natin lessen the restrictions of players getting paid because of endorsements and all those stuff, di ba?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You have
That's
to
yeah.
remember,
They have talked. Yeah. Yeah.
USNCAA was very, very strict about that, di ba? So
Yeah.
they're planning to loosen it up, di ba?
Yes.
Yes.
So, kasi papasok na yung pera. I think that is their way of making the players stay in
Stay.
college.
Yes.
Oo.
Mhm.
That's right.
Pero you have to remember again, these schools are yung mga student athletes na to, they're scholars. They're scholars. Di nila binabayaran yan, di ba? For sure, ang tututol dyan ang mga schools. It's either tumutol sila or the schools get some share of the pie. Di
Mhm.
ba?
Yeah.
It's a complicated mess na hindi kasalanan ng NBA, na hindi rin kasalanan ng USNCAA. It's the players themselves. It's really their doing talaga.
Yeah.
Claro?
Just to jump ship, before jumping ship from that in kay Sergey is what's hard with the players, they weren't getting money at all. But there's some players who just couldn't afford their basic needs. Because from my
Yes,
understanding,
oo.
you get your scholarship, you get your dorm maybe, and that's it. But
Wala
how
silang
about
pera. Wala silang
yeah,
nakukuha pera.
your living expenses? So they said you should get paid a bit, like what Sergey said.
Yes.
So because that money you get is for your basic needs. It's not like you're gonna be taking home professional level money
Hmm.
when
That's
you're in
right.
college, right?
Yeah.
So
Oo.
Right.
there it's okay to get paid with the restriction.
Yes.
So
Right.
let's
Yeah.
see how they develop. But it's nice that the USNCA is making that step. But
Hmm.
real quick, because I don't know if we're getting over time
Yeah.
soon. Um, that program in the G League of Kai Soto, you get to
Yes.
That's
skip
another one.
college.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
Yeah.
another one.
but
Yeah.
here it's like they're taking the pro path, but I think those guys I think are studying. Yes.
Yeah.
They'll
They
go
are.
to
They are.
college, ah. They'll go to college. Babayaran sila and I know some part of their payment will be allocated for education.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And in addition, may tuturuan sila ni NPA to parang all the, like what people say, shit you need to learn before you turn 16 or 18.
Yeah. That's exactly what.
Like
Yeah.
what Claudia mentioned, basic accounting,
Yeah.
Hmm.
personal financial management,
Yeah.
perhaps how to iron your own clothes, how to change your own tire, mga things like that.
Yeah. You know what you learn in kindergarten. I mean, here in college, you don't have to like go to 4 years of studying Jose Rizal, do we? No. I mean, honestly,
You miss that subject, no? You miss
yeah,
that
we don't.
subject.
You don't have to study that. I mean,
Oh,
we could read, we could watch the news. I mean, we don't have to study it for a whole semester,
yes, yes,
right?
Yeah.
yes. Yes, oh.
We don't
All those
have.
basic stuff, yun yung ituturo dun sa mga players na yun
Hmm.
eh. Oo.
Yeah, so we don't have to. I mean, honestly. Anyway, so yeah, so
Mm.
for me, I agree also with the NBA. With the both of you, what you said, na one and done, and then I'm not sure about the high school to the NBA. It could be lucrative, but what you said, Clara, I didn't think of that. What if they were a bust
Hmm.
and they go to
What
what's
happened?
gonna
Wait, huh?
happen?
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
extremes of both sides. High
It's
risk,
extremes
high
on both
reward.
sides.
Oh.
Polarized,
Oh. Oh.
polarized.
And you have to remember, it's not only the players, but also the people that hire them. Diba?
Yes, exactly. There's a
Yes.
big risk.
Oo.
Kwame
Sige.
Brown, diba?
Oh,
Mm.
that's a big, long story.
Yeah, that's a,
Oo.
all right. About you, Clara. I mean, sorry, Jay. You mentioned outside of the podcast, you wanted to put in another league here. The 3x3. You wanted to
Ah,
say something?
here's
Yeah.
another, here's another thing. For sure, pwede na tayo pumasok dito eh.
Say.
Perhaps matatanong ko kayo, who do you think, since already, pagda, reminder ha, pagdating ng March 2021, it's already the season 46 ng PBA.
20,
So
next year. Okay, yeah.
next year. So walang 2020 Commissioners Cup, walang 2020 Governors Cup.
Hmm.
All Filipino ka agad.
So pagdating ng January, it's gonna be the draft. Okay. Sige, para masaya, sinong potential entry nyo? Who are the people's gonna sign up for this draft?
And I'm honestly not so sure. Oh, people I think are gonna sign up.
Claro, sige, ikaw.
Okay.
Just wanna
Let's
throw this up.
No, you're right.
let's you put in the no.
I don't know.
Oh, wait. No, other than Troy Reich, let's get
It's
the
in the other
3x.
professional league.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's get the 3x3 national team. Ayun. That's it. Kasama na doon Troy Reich, Dodong Santillan, Pasaol,
Pasaol.
Munzon's part
okay.
of
But
that.
they're not.
Outside of ganito,
They're
outside,
not.
I think we are in consensus na yung nasa 3x3, the 3x3 national team will come in. Sige.
Yes. Yeah.
Outside of that one,
Outside from them.
do you think of somebody? For sure, the Ateneo
Outside-
guys will not enter.
My
Fergie
graduate.
Raven, 30 Ravenna is abroad.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
out
30,
already.
yeah, 30's out.
30 Ravenna is abroad. There's one thing, Lasal, Jamie Malonzo can enter.
Ayun,
Yes,
Malonzo
you can.
and Laput.
Laput.
Dapat. Oh,
No, but
again,
Laput in the 3x3.
no, the thing is, again, the D-League rules are relaxed for this year's draft. Kasi di ba nga hindi rin natuloy si D-League dahil sa lockdown.
Okay. Sino kasi?
So, Jamie Malonzo is eligible for the draft.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nisi, the taga-Adamson.
he's eligible, pero he still has one more year
He still has a
sa
year, yes.
It still has a
Adamson.
year.
Actually, kahit yung mga may kahit yung mga nasa college pa, pwede nyo na
Justin
ipasok.
Baltasar.
Justin Baltasar, Enzo Serrano.
Enzo Serrano. And
Oo.
Enzo will still stay, I think.
Oo. Justin Baltasar is already, medyo,
Alvin
na siya,
Oftana.
hinog na siya. Oftana, pwede na rin. But he'll play for the national
He'll
team.
play for the national team.
Yeah,
Sige pa, isip pa.
again, it's
May alam ka
rare.
eh. May alam ka eh, Jay. Di ba?
Yeah, Sir Jay has something.
He has
Basta
someone in mind. He's just not
it's-
telling us.
it's rare to have
Hmm.
someone again leave college early. So
Who's this?
if
Who's
you want to
this?
keep it simple, we can just get to 5. Who's gonna play out their 5th year, or who played out their 5th year already? Yeah.
No, yeah, but I'm like thinking. I'm going through Ateneo. I'm going through the UAP, NCAA.
Mm.
Uh,
I'm
ano
also
to?
actually doing the same thing.
Guard ba to? Guard or center?
So I'm actually thinking of the same thing na I'm just running over.
I'm over. Okay.
I'm also running over all those teams, all these teams right here. Pwede natin isa-isahin. Sa UE, wala. Sa UE, I think, Ray Suerte, nauna na si Ray Suerte actually.
Yeah, Ray Suerte is already in the
Pero,
draft, diba? Na-draft na siya, diba?
pero here's the thing, ito kasi yung hirap ton. All the players right now that are eligible for the draft, tsaka yung talaga will get the top 4 perhaps, the draft. Joshua Munson, Alvin Pasaol,
Yeah.
Leonard Santillan, and Troy Wright.
Yes.
They're all eligible. Ito lang yung dilemma. The PBA is employing the Ray Parks rule. If you don't know that Ray Parks rule, yun yung naging controversial na balita na if you pass up for 2
2
straight drafts
years. That's
for
right.
2 years, di ba? Hindi ka pumapasok, you'll be banned for the PBA.
Yes.
That's the Ray Parks rule. It was born because, di ba si Ray Parks, I think 2013, 2014, he was done with NU already.
Nag-ABL.
Plus, he jumped to the NBA G League. He jumped from ABL. Tapos, nag-MDBL pa siya, di ba?
Yes.
So, the PBA, put his hand down. Ganito gagawin natin para maiwasan natin yan. Because it's giving them the impression na namimili ng team si Ray Parks, di ba? It gave them the impression na namimili siya ng team
Yes.
na papasukin niya. Kasi
Yes.
di ba, basic lang naman yung rule dun eh. Whoever went last sa the previous season will get the high probability of picking first in the draft,
Yes.
di ba? So para nag-impression na namimili ng team si Ray Parks doon. So sabi ni PBA, teka, para wag maulit yan, 2 seasons, 2 drafts. If you pass up 2 drafts, hindi ka na pwede mag-PBA.
Okay, yeah.
Unless meron kang consent ni PBA na nagsabi ka, nagpaalam ka, ganito ka pupunta, ito gusto maging direction ng karir mo, may nakabang ka ng kontrata, di sige, magiging relax si PBA doon. One example of that is 30 Ravenna.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He has permission, right?
He has
Because
permission,
30
yeah.
is in like the B League in Japan.
In Japan.
Yeah.
Actually,
Pro
that
ball.
30 Ravenna plan, nasa UAP pala sa 30 Ravenna, usap-usapan na yung state niya sa Japan.
Definitely.
So,
not a surprise.
So 30 Ravenna met with Commissioner Will Marshall, pinag-usapan nila na yun, and ayun, case in point nga, ito yung kontrata, ito yung offer ni Japan, naglalaro ako doon, Com, okay lang ba? Sabi ni Com, walang problema.
Okay.
Sila, ganyan naman si Commissioner Marshall, basta magsabi lang sila, walang problema. Papayag naman, linyit naman sa PBA doon. Kaya here's the thing na, with those 4 guys, di ba?
They have
You have
to.
to remember, they're already they're professionals. Kasi
So
you have to remember.
they have to go in na. They have to get into the draft na, right? Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah.
So, ano yung magiging storya nila doon? Do they want to stay sa 3x3 or do they want to go full on 5-on-5? dito sa PBA. That's a
Yeah.
very interesting scenario.
We will wait and see.
Mm-mm.
It's
Where do
gonna be
these guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
Where did
Oh,
these guys go? I actually
well,
yeah.
eto, last na tanong na lang. Last na tanong na.
I
I
don't
know
actually
Claudia
have
is
an
not
answer to
listening.
that question,
Oh,
but it'll be
I know,
nice.
no.
It'll be nice to know where they're gonna
Oh,
go.
I
Uh-huh.
know Claudia is hosting right now, but I want
It's okay.
this
Go
one
ahead.
last question. Do you think those four guys, Pasaol, Bunson, Santillan, right? Do you want to see them doing 5-on-5 or do you want them to stay on 3x3? Or pwedeng isa-isa lang doon, yung mag 5-on-5 or 3x3. Sige, what do you think?
I see it in a weird way.
Sige, Claro, go ahead.
Maybe it's not popular.
Hmm.
If if we really want to get a gold medal, because it is an Olympic sport now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They stay all the way and full time. That's continuity, 3x3 all the
Mm.
way. And just to connect, no, I did mention earlier. Let's just say we had the full time national team set up.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Your club is just the national team. I was mentioning the continuity. And assuming there's a continuity, let's say we had it. Imagine Marshall Lassiter, Chris Chu, JV Casio, full-time national team players. They just kept resigning and resigning. That's
Yeah.
just a what if. So what if Pasaol, Santillan, Troy, Wright, and Company, Munzon do that?
Yeah.
Full-time
Mm.
3x3. But
But
that's if they want the gold medal. Because again, like,
but
parang we have a shot, no?
but the yeah we do. But the problem is within the internal of who's running that Olympic. Which group, which government, sporting agency? I don't want to cross the line. I don't want to say the names, diba?
Sporting organization.
Or
Sporting,
who's the organization responsible for bringing the 3x3 to the Olympics?
Mhm.
Diba?
Well, what? Yeah, go ahead.
Diba? No,
mm.
who? Do we have SBP or that other group? Diba? I mean, who?
Yeah, and this thing I mentioned is just on paper, of course,
Yes, yeah,
because there are many other factors to consider here and there, right?
correct,
Of
yeah.
course, for these players.
Mm.
That's actually a very. I want to see them in the 3x3. I mean, but I also want to see them in the 5v5. I want to see them in the
Mm.
But
five
I
on
think
four. I
other
want to see them also.
countries, my full time na 3x3 already. Eh.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
that's
and,
That's
true.
and, and
why
yeah, and the
the
PBA is gonna do that.
Mongolians, yeah, the
PBA is gonna do
Mongolians are
that.
beast in
Yeah.
3x3.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think these guys can even beat the Philippines in 5-on-5, right? But you
We're
see
gonna
the
kick their
special.
ass at 5-on-5.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna
see
kick
the
their
specialization eh. Iba talaga.
Yeah.
Iba talaga yung discipline eh. I know at the end of the day you gotta put the ball in the hoop, but there's a different skill set involved. 5-on-5,
Yeah.
3x3, which
Yeah.
is a future topic also. I can't
Which
wait to
you're gonna
touch.
talk about, right?
Yeah,
That's gonna be your topic. So
Ah,
eventually.
eventually, so that's actually a very good topic, but actually
mm,
very good questions. Would I want to see them if the
mm,
PBA is planning, if ever, to do a PBA 3x3, right?
yes.
Maybe that's where they could go. They could probably get drafted, play 5 versus 5 until the 3x3 comes back, and then maybe could move into 3x3, PBA 3x3.
Mm,
But I would like to see them playing the 5-on-5. But I also want them to be successful and go to the Olympics in the
mm,
3x3.
mm.
Very tough
Okay.
question.
Here's my answer to this one. I want to see Joshua Monson and Santi Santil and Leonard Santillan go 5-on-5. You
Okay.
have to, if you look at Joshua Monson's game and if you saw him play
Yeah.
sa Alab doon and even sa D-League, he's a taller, stronger version of Chris Newsom. And
Point
if
guard
you're,
wing, no?
yes,
Yeah.
and Chris Newsom right now is playing great sa Meralco. He's doing
Outstanding.
well. His
Yeah.
passing greatly improved. And if you want to see a taller, heftier version of that, that's Joshua Monzon. Diba?
Yeah.
Santi Santillan is a Troy Rosario 2.0. Kung
Yeah.
ano yung kayang gawin ni
Anti-Santillan.
Troy Rosario, yun yung kayang gawin ni Leonard Santillan. So it's gonna be a very valuable member of a team na kukuha sa kanya doon. With
Okay.
regards to Pasaol and Troy Reich, yung positions nila actually, si Alvin Pasaol kasi, naman, he's a bulky guy, pero maliit siya. Kung ibabangga mo siya kay Bo Belga, na which is yung magiging katapatan niya, tatalsik si Alvin Pasaol.
Yes.
Diba? So, the thing about Alvin Pasol, he's that perfect uh, type of player with that in that size and that skill set na it will put him at a disadvantage of 5-on-5, but at a great advantage sa 3x3.
Okay.
There, that's the perfect skill set
Yes,
where you
perfect
found his
skill set
match here.
with the perfect size.
Yeah.
It's good for 3x3.
For Troy
Sa
Reich.
5-on-5 magiging disadvantage siya. Troy Reich suffers that same thing. Troy Reich's a very tall guy. But you know what? Pero that height, 6'7", 6'8", he's gonna definitely play center. It's gonna match up the likes of Raymond Almazan, Jared
Marfardo.
Aguilar,
Yeah.
Jomar Fajardo. Pero yung build ni Troy Reich is hindi naman pang center eh. He's a really tall wing.
Yeah. Okay.
Oo.
Yeah.
So, he's gonna be put again at a great disadvantage sa 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Pero sa 3x3, he's at a great advantage.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that's my honest take for me. Monzon and Santi, they can go 5-on-5. Pasaol and Troy Reich can stay sa 3x3 and fly the national colors. They'll do good.
That's
Okay.
nice. You
So
got to see the opportunity cost. What if they go here? What if they go there? What are
But
they
that's
missing out on if they go 5-on-5? What are they missing out on if they go 3-on-3?
oh,
So let's see how it pans out next year, Claudia.
yeah.
oh,
So tama. We have another topic which I think Claro will
yes.
tackle, which is the 3x3 versus
Pahabain
five
natin
on
yung
five.
usapan.
Yeah. Papahabain natin tong topic na to.
Oo.
It's good.
Later this year.
Yeah. So this is a
Mm,
very good parang yan,
Parang
prelude to
primer, no? Yeah.
ah,
prelude to one of the topics that we'll be talking about.
ah,
But look, all our opinions about the PBA's draft, whether to bring it down from 23 to 18, 19, 20, that's our opinion, right? That's who we are. And I'm sure all of you are thinking, who the heck are these guys? And we
may
also
face
say to
mask ka.
ourselves,
Oo.
and we also
Yes.
say to ourselves, who the heck are we?
Ding,
Oh.
ding, ding, ding.
Ting, 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 ting. Alcohol